We're here at Colossians 1:29, the last verse of this chapter. Not the last verse of his thought, but hey, how you doing? Here's the key. Oops. Let's see if I can get that in there. There we go. All right. But one of the things I'll even say, probably even in the next video, but even in this one, is these chapter breaks are great for reference, but don't take those too seriously for study, because if we stop and go, okay, whole new thought, we often get misled, because these chapters, these verses are not godly, not godly. I don't mean it's like wicked, but they're not divinely inspired. They're man's attempts to just have a quick reference, ability to look it up. That's it's helpful. It's a good tool, but it's just like the coloring. It's not like this actually adds to it or takes away. This is just for us to think about. This is a tool, but it is not the truth itself. So don't stop just because we get to an end of chapter and go, okay, it's a whole new thing. You got to read it through and really find out, is it kind of a new thought? Because there are times, but you'll see even in chapter 2, it says 4. So that's still continuing on. So verse 29, we'll start at verse 28. It says, him, that is Christ. Verse 27, I guess we should start, but him we proclaim, warning everyone and teaching everyone with all wisdom, that we may present everyone mature in Christ. For this I toil, struggling with all his energy, that he powerfully works within me. So here we find that in this passage, there's the suffering for others' sake, so that they may be helped and built up. We're proclaiming the word, so that again, it's building up others. We're going through all these things for the sake of the Lord. He's calling us to these things, and now we're proclaiming, warning, teaching everyone, so that they may be mature, not lacking anything. But this is a toilsome thing. This is not easy. For this I toil, and we tend to kind of want it to be easy, but it's not. Toil is a hard thing, but that's not a bad thing. Toil's hard, but it's good. Struggling with all his energy. So struggling with all his energy, that he powerfully works within me. I'll put it this way, that he powerfully works within me. I mean, he's the one doing it. God is the one who actually accomplishes the tasks. Everything we have accomplished, he does for us. And so we got to keep that in mind. And so that's why I would put the emphasis of coloring him. But he's powerfully working within us. So it's also that truth of what is going on within us. So God is doing it, but he powerfully works within me. Struggling with all his energy. I'm going to highlight that in the blue, because it's his energy. So all his energy. I apart from him, I could do nothing, right? And that's where he says in what, John 15, apart from me, you can do nothing. Do nothing. I'll look up that verse later. But that all his energy that so powerfully works within me, that brings up where I can do all things. That's Philippians, oh boy, what is that? I think that's 4:13, I think. But do everything through Christ, or through him who strengthens me. Oh boy, there's my wonderful scroll. So it's his power, his energy, and that's also makes me think of 1 Peter 4, I think it's 11, where he talks about those who speak should speak the very words of God, and those who serve with the very strength that God gives. So we got to have that mindset, but we're not on our own. You know, this is not something that we do. This is something he's doing through us or in us, but we cooperate with him. And that's where I struggle, or I toil and I struggle. That's Galatians 5, where he talks about if we live by the Spirit, we also should walk with the Spirit. So we're cooperating with him. We're not just sitting back and letting God do whatever he wants with us, even though that's a great goal in that heart. But the mindset is not just sit back and let God do things. It's cooperate with God, walk with him, love him, seek him out, do his word, knowing that it's his power, knowing it's his work, it's his opportunities, that he's orchestrating. It's all him. That's 1 Corinthians 3. Where we water and plant the seeds, but he does the growing. He makes it grow. So he's the real power. We may live, but he's the life. We may walk, but he's the ability to walk. This is the God we serve. And so when we toil and struggle, even as if we put all our effort into it, it's still his energy. It's his powerful work that is working within us. He's the one enabling us. He goes before us. He comes behind. That's another passage in, I think, Isaiah. Go before and behind. Where I think that's Isaiah 58. I think he's talking about if we have that mindset of doing what's right, our righteousness will go before us, and his mercy or his grace will be our rear guard. It's cooperation. It's a relationship. It's not us on our own. So that's where we're doing all this stuff with Christ in us, with Christ working in our hearts, but he's in us. He's living in us. And so that translates to all his energy that powerfully works within it. That doesn't encourage you to at least make the effort to try, because you may fail. You may not even do that great. You may not be able to speak well, do anything very well. But if it's with his power, guess what? All that toil and struggle, it still has divine power to do amazing things. Even if you seem to have failed, God doesn't. And so he takes his word and makes it useful for others. So be encouraged. Continue to study the word. Continue to live the word. Continue to obey the word. And you're going to find that God not only makes you grow, but as this whole passage kind of points out, uses you to help others to grow as well. So, hey, be encouraged. Keep serving. Keep loving others. And we'll continue in chapter 2. As we start a new chapter, but probably not much of a new thought, as this will just continue to flow through. So until next time, God bless you guys. Have a good one.